Riding a motorcycle is an absolutely surreal experience. It's the only sport or hobby that I know of that uses every one of your five senses, and it uses all of them all at the same time. I've done a lot of cool things in my life, such as skiing big double diamond mountains, and of course my fair share of fast cars around racetracks. But nothing comes close to getting on a motorcycle, which not only triggers all of your senses all at the same time, but gives you a sense of freedom like you've never felt before. So in this video, I will highlight 8 things every motorcyclist experiences while riding a motorcycle for the first time. Let's get into it. The first time you get on a motorcycle, you will feel a combination of fear, exhilaration, relaxation, and pleasure. And this is exactly how I felt the first time I rode my KTM RC390. The first time I rode my KTM RC390, it was pretty much around the block. And then as I continued to gain confidence, I went to my first bike night. And getting to the bike night and getting back was one of the most major accomplishments I've ever felt. This might come off lightly, but while you're getting on the road with the motorcycle for the first time, all of your senses are working on overdrive. You feel every single nuance of the road, you feel every single nuance of the air, of the temperature, all the cars around you, and this can be very, very frightening for the first time because you're also learning how to ride a motorcycle. So the first time I rode a motorcycle, like I said, it was a combination of fear, exhilaration, relaxation, and pleasure, because when I came back, I felt like this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, even though I was absolutely terrified. One of the major reasons why we ride motorcycles is because of the extreme acceleration. You feel absolutely everything. Motorcycles are extremely quick. Most motorcycles can do 0 to 60 in 3 to 4 seconds flat, which is what you would get from a typical car like a Porsche 911, just to give you some context. You feel the G-forces on your body, on your arms, on your neck, and as a result, the next day, don't be surprised if you feel muscle pain in places you've never felt before. Riding a motorcycle is a complete workout, depending on the type of motorcycle that you have. If you're riding a naked motorcycle and then you jump onto something like a sport bike, you will immediately notice the difference on your back, on your shoulders, and on your neck the next day. The next thing I want to talk about is sound. Sounds can spark emotionally potent memories, both good and bad. However, the sound of the motorcycle heightens your awareness and your adrenaline. Every time I ride a motorcycle that sounds loud and aggressive, it reflects on my riding style. Put me on a motorcycle that is quiet and I will ride it slow, but put me on a motorcycle that is loud and snarly, and you can almost guarantee that there might be a chance that I'm going to be breaking the speed limit. Sound is one of the main reasons why we ride. Because sound translates into feeling good emotions, this is one of the main reasons why we ride, and this is one of the main reasons why the first modification that every motorcyclist usually does to their motorcycle is getting an exhaust. Sound is one of the major benefits of riding a motorcycle, and depending on how many motorcycles you've ever ridden, one thing that you will always remember about that motorcycle is how great it sounded. For most of us, putting on a full-face helmet is not really a natural thing to do, but as soon as you put it on, you have something which I consider to be full IMAX vision, just like you would get in a movie theater. Everything comes pouring in with absolutely no limitations. There's a quote somewhere, and I'm not sure who exactly said this quote, but to drive a car is like watching a film. To ride a bike is like being in the film. And I think that's very, very true. The sense of speed that you get when you're riding a motorcycle is beyond imagination, even at low speeds. You notice everything around you and you're the most alert that you've ever been in your entire life. You feel every nuance of the road on the hand grips, from the texture of the road to every single one of the bumps. It's definitely a surreal experience, and it's definitely something that you have to feel for yourself. With the IMAX vision that you see, you also taste and smell absolutely everything. When I ride near the ocean, I can taste the salt and, believe it or not, even become sensitive to the level of moisture in the air. If there is a dead skunk a half a mile away, you will smell it. While not everything smells good, when riding a motorcycle, your nose detects everything good and bad. Along with all the smells, you will feel every single nuance of the weather. Normally walking around on foot, we call the weather either cold, warm, or hot. But on a motorcycle, you will feel every degree of change on your body. You will become so sensitive to weather patterns that you will be able to tell between 62 degrees and 64 degrees. Motorcyclists often check the weather and plan for weather conditions depending on where they're going every single time. Riding a motorcycle means you have to have a tire for cold and hot temperatures, and you also have to pre-plan ahead of time way before you leave your house. There isn't a day when I ride a motorcycle that I don't check the weather and prepare for it before I ride. When you're riding a motorcycle on the road, you feel the wind on your helmet, the sound of your exhaust, cars behind you and ahead of you. And while you're stopped at a stoplight, you can hear people talking on your left or on your right or behind you or in front of you. Once again, it feels like watching an IMAX movie when you have surround sound all over you. During these moments, there are no distractions and your mind is completely free to take in all the sights and sounds. You are absolutely completely in the moment. There's no stress. There's nothing bothering you. It's just you, the road, and everything around you. The next topic I want to talk about is freedom and therapy that you get from riding a motorcycle. When you're riding a motorcycle, you feel the freedom of the open road. You feel the freedom to park your bike almost anywhere. When you're driving a car, it's very difficult to find parking, but when you're riding a motorcycle, you can park virtually anywhere. You also get the freedom from stresses that you have in your life, the anxieties, and life in general, because life can be pretty hectic. But when you're riding a motorcycle, all of that melts away. To me, riding is therapy. All of your senses and your limbs are being utilized all at the same time. There is absolutely no time to think of anything negative. This leaves you to be in a Zen-like state and absolutely in the moment. And the last thing I want to talk about is that you stop trusting all other motorists on the road when you're a motorcyclist. For the most part, cars don't see motorcyclists. Our brain works in pictures. When you're driving in familiar locations, your brain drives there on autopilot. And this is why you can carry a conversation with someone and not even pay attention to where you're going. And then when you get there, you wonder how you got there in the first place. This is one of the reasons why drivers don't see bikers. Their eyes are just not trained enough to see us on a regular basis. There aren't that many motorcyclists on the road. And as a result, bikers have grown distrustful of cars, oftentimes calling them cagers. Bikers are always hyper alert, and it is in their best interest to think that no car ever sees them on the road. And it is for this reason that bikers almost have a sixth sense and must predict very accurately what cars and other motorists will do on the road before they actually do it. So anyways, I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. Please give this video a like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Take care, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Ciao for now.